Hey there, you're in the listening station, and today I'm going to be reviewing Austin by Post Malone. I'll rate this album on a scale of 1 through 10, and we'll see if any of these tracks make it onto the listening station playlist. So Post Malone is one of these love-hate musicians, but plenty of people praise him for having diverse talent and staying humble in the music scene, despite being one of today's biggest, most popular artists in the world. And I was really looking forward to this project. I was really looking forward to this album. Posty described it as a passion project, the album he was always dreamed of making. And after hearing his Nirvana covers, I got my hopes up, and I was hoping that maybe there'd be some sort of like a country rock experimental album going on here. And that's not quite what we got. But it does start that way. The first track, Don't Understand, kicks off the album on a somber note. It's an acoustic ballad with the reverb cranked up to 11, but I really enjoyed its kind of alt-rock bluesy sound. It kind of reminded me of one of his older songs, Stay, off of Beer Bongs and Bentleys. It was kind of dreamy, but also a little kind of touching. Something Real is the next track, and I have to say I wasn't a big fan of this song. There's this large choir in the background, dropping background vocals, but it's there consistently through the song. Like there's no like a crescendo that leads up to this big choir or something like that. It's just constantly there, and it's very loud. I didn't think it helped the song at all. Chemical is the next track, and I do like this song more. It sounds a little more upbeat, it's a little more radio friendly, minus a few choice words. But it's another track that on the surface is fun and poppy, but it hits on serious notes. And I do believe that this touches upon, Post Malone's public struggle with alcoholism. And, it's just one of these tracks, though, that I did really enjoy off of this album. So, I like it. It'd probably make the playlist. Novacandy is up next. This is another song about excess, wrapped up in kind of a easily digestible package, but it is super catchy. Mourning, I really like this song. I think there's some great lines on this track. And for me, I can really see the picture that Post Malone's trying to paint here. Unfortunately, coming off of that track is Too Cool to Die. And I gotta tell you, I'm not impressed. Lyrics and music are both pretty weak here. Sign Me Up is next. The song is about being so love-struck that you're basically sucked in like it's a cult. You're giving up everything else and plunging in with blinders on. It's a cool concept, but I'm not a big fan of how this song actually turned it out. There's a little too much keyboard in this one for me. Socialite, the next track here. Acoustic guitar makes a nice comeback here in this one, but it's just the same old stuff with this. It's booze, sex, drugs, and cars. But at least this one had an Adam Sandler reference. Other than that, not much to really brag about on this one. Overdrive, interesting concept. I'll do anything just to stay popular. But where's the rest of the song, Post? This thing's under 2.5 minutes. So for me, this song just didn't go anywhere. It didn't develop into anything. It was just kind of that little thought, and that was it. Speedometer. Ugh. I just spent 9 songs listening to Posty cry about excess and needing something real. Well, I guess in this song, that new Lambo made him feel much better. Honestly, the best part of this song was that it's only 2.5 minutes long. Hold My Breath. This is a simple ballad. I like the sound and the vibe of this track, but the lyrics here, they're not going to win any awards either. It's a pleasant song, but, nothing to really brag about. Enough is enough. For me, this is one of the better tracks on the album. I think it would be fun, maybe to see this song performed live. I bet you'd get behind the energy of this, but let's move on to the next one, Texas Tea. So in terms of just the vibe and the sound of the song, this is one of the more interesting sounding songs on the album, but don't get too excited because, Post immediately leans on that crutch. It's that Post Malone formula. Mention a car, check. Drug reference, check. Sex reference, check. Brag about something expensive, check. Posty formula. Next track, Buyer Beware. I kind of like this song. I think this is, if there's any hidden gems on this album, this might be it. It's got a good head-bopping rhythm. There's some fun lyrics in here. Again, it comes under 3 minutes, so it's not, I don't know, it just isn't fully developed or fully baked. It would have been nice if this was kind of fleshed out into something more substantial. Landmine, and this one, the choir's back. Nothing too special here. Not much to complain about, really, not much to brag about. Green Thumb. Post shows off a little singer-songwriter, which is kind of cool. I like that he's doing that, but it really is unpolished. This sounds like it was like the first draft, like you just kind of coming off the cuff with this thing. It could definitely use a little bit of love. The album ends with Laugh It Off. It's the longest track in the album. I think it just came over 4 minutes, I think 4:07. The song has potential. This big crescendo at the end, I have to say, it sounds kind of messy. Like, it just kind of sounds like everything's garbled. So, how does Austin rate on a scale of 1 to 10? This album definitely has potential. There's a lot of good moments on this album. In fact, there are a couple of songs here that are definitely going to make the playlist, but unfortunately, it has so many problems. There's problems with, just weak, or just honestly, plain terrible lyrics. Just awful. And the effects, boy, they just need to be dialed back. The sparks of what seem like genuine, heartfelt inspiration, they are on here, but they keep getting beat down with this Post Malone blend of cliches and reverb. And for that, I've got to give it a 6. So that's it for me. This was the review of Austin by Post Malone. Until next time, you're in the listening station.